100.1 Moose FM. Good morning. I'm Dub. I am joined now on the phone with the mayor of the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality, Rob Fraser. Rob, thanks for making some time for us this morning. How are you?
I'm good, and good morning to you, Dub, and everybody in the Peace Country.
Absolutely. I think everyone's sort of really wanting to hear an update, if you have any, on sort of what's happened with the fire since last night. So what have you been hearing from the wildfire service since then?
So I haven't had an official briefing from the wildfire service this morning, but I think they spoke to CBC, and I did an interview with them, and they said that it had grown slightly overnight, but we woke up this morning to blue skies, no smoke in the community, and seemingly like the fire had burned down towards the river. So we got a reprieve overnight, and that's good. Though now, an hour and a half later, the smoke has settled into the community, and we're seeing a slight breeze from the west, which is troublesome.
Yeah, and do you have a kind of an idea of what the forecast is looking like for today? Because again, yesterday it was looking like more wind from the west, and at times gusts of up to 50 an hour, which is kind of where we're in the danger zone, I guess.
Yeah, that never materialized. We had mostly a northerly flow, a northern flow, which means the wind was blowing towards the south, which was good for us because it blew this fire more towards the river. Mm-hmm. Problem is we've got the fire to the north of us that's coming down from the Highway 77, and so any northerly flows sort of hurt us with respect to that second fire. It's still quite a ways away from the community, but it is to the north of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you were saying right before we went to air that you've heard that the fire is only like a kilometer and a half away from the community at this point, I guess, eh?
Yeah, so that would be the eastern edge of the fire.
Yeah.
Is about a kilometer and a half, from the community, and it really hasn't come any closer to the community as it was yesterday because of the flows from the north, which has sort of pushed it more towards the south. Mm-hmm. It's that westerly wind that's going to scare us, and we hear that it's supposed to be windier today. That never materialized yesterday, but it's supposed to be windier today, and again up to 50-kilometer-an-hour gusts from the west. So, as I said, that's worrisome. That's worrisome for us, but the firefighters have been working hard to set up a perimeter around the western edge of the community, and we're really hoping that will be effective.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as far as no structures have been affected so far. Then, Rob.
Yeah, I'm unsure. Obviously we'll have to do a damage assessment once it's safe to get out into the fire zone. But near as we can tell, it's been burning along the highway, and it's jumped the highway in a few places. But we'll have to do that damage assessment once we're able to get out there.
Gotcha. Now, you're still in town along with the firefighters, and I just wanted to talk to you a bit about the evacuation. You had said on Saturday when you gave an interview to energeticcity.ca that most of the people had already left. Has there been any sort of other stragglers who have also decided to leave after you pled with them to go due to safety reasons? Have you heard anything on that front?
Yeah, so what day is it now? I guess it was Saturday night and Sunday. We had really started to plead with people who were still left in town that that it was getting close to the end of the time for their ability to get out and our ability to get them out. And people took us up on that, and so we saw quite a few people leave yesterday. We don't have exact numbers because the people who are stragglers don't often answer their door when somebody knocks on it.
Sure.
Right? They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to know that let anybody know. But somewhere less than 100 people might be still out there in between town and the rural areas. We know how many households just because of the way our system is for knocking on doors and marking the houses. So we know how many households have not answered, which gives you a suspect that there's potentially people there. Mm-hmm. Or they were gone in the initial evacuation. So, we're somewhere less than 100 people, we think, left in the community. Gotcha. And the surrounding area. And
then what have you been hearing, about evacuees who have made it to Fort St. John? I believe some have gone to as far as Prince George even and beyond. What are you hearing from those residents and how they've been welcomed in, our community and other communities?
Yeah, I'll go right back to Friday. The evacuation was really fantastic. 3,500 people in, essentially 6 hours, and moved them, almost 400 kilometers. There's some stragglers along the Alaska Highway, but
Yeah.
once they got there, you drop 3,500 people on any community, even if it's a city, and it's a strain. And so, there were long lineups and queues, but, people have been patient and worked their way through them. And the volunteers in all the communities of the Peace and Prince George, have been fantastic. They've been barbecues, and, people are greeting each other and, assisting with any of the needs that they have. So we're really appreciative of that. We know that we're close neighbors, and so the people have really stood up for the evacuees who have gone south. And, I'm certainly appreciative, and I know our entire community is appreciative of the assistance that they've been getting in Dawson Creek, Chetwynd, Tumbler Ridge, Fort St. John, and Prince George.
Absolutely. One more thing for you, Rob, before I let you go. And I'm now blanking on what that one thing was going to be. Oh, I suppose what's next for this morning in terms of when, you might get a briefing from the wildfire service on any more kind of movement other than what you heard from the CPC when you were interviewed by them.
Yeah, I need an official update, and I'm trying to line that up. I mean, I've got a series of interviews here that I've been trying to get through, and once that's done, I'll get with our CAO, and hopefully I'll be able to get a direct report from the wildfire service. That's later in the day. And, if I say anything, I just got to let people know, stay away from Northeast BC here for now. Although it's a beautiful blue sky out there around this smoke, and it looks good, it's still very dangerous, and we just need people to stay away. If we've got to concentrate on the lives of people, we're not concentrating on the fire, and that's where we need to put our efforts.
Absolutely, Rob. Well, we're praying and hoping for winds that blow the fire away from town and from the First Nation, and that everyone remains safe. Rob, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us today.
You're welcome, Deb. Thank you.
You're very welcome. That's Rob Fraser, the mayor of the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality.
DQ tastes even better when you